Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the coach's call for November 10th, 2025. I'll be playing the role of Craig today, and Allison will be playing the role of Jay, and Brian will be playing the role of Brian, and Brian will be playing the role of Brian. So we are expecting to have a couple TDs join us. So when they join
They're
us,
having issues with the new link. I'm taking care of it.
okay. Well, we're getting them a link. There we go. So a couple things that Craig wanted us to talk about for you guys on his behalf. So he wanted us to remind everybody to make sure to pay the entry fee for your tournament. Now you have to register with first, and then also there's the entry fee for the Wisconsin competition season as well. I don't have that information. I'm assuming that's off of BadgerBots. They can find that or in an email. Also, he wanted us to remind you guys that we still have about 20 teams that are not event ready. So if we make sure that your teams, Brian, do you know on VIMS if they can see if their teams are event ready or not specifically?
Event ready would be that you have two coaches with YPP, and you'd have your students all set up. I know that's for sure. Let me log in and see if I see anything else.
Okay. And he just wanted to remind the coaches, if you can, when you're not registered with your teams to compete, if you could volunteer to judge or ref. We have a lot of tournaments that still need some help with that. So we don't want you to volunteer if your team is at an event, but we would love to have you at any other events. So if you have the time and have the ability, please volunteer. With that, sorry, I was just looking for the TDs. Okay, I guess we can go over to Brian and see if you guys have anything for judging. And Laura did just join.
Yeah, just let me. Didn't specifically have anything from this weekend. Again, just reminder for teams, tying your innovation project to the prompt of being it for problems for archaeologists, and kind of making sure it's clear for the judges what that is. And then the other thing we did last year and we'll be doing again this year, and you've already kind of said whether you'd be interested or not when you registered, but for tournaments, but the judges, if they will try and find some good innovation project presentations, and we reach out to the teams. Usually the tournament director would be the one doing that to see if they'd be willing to present during closing ceremonies. That does not mean that you're going to get an award. That just means that the judges liked your presentation. They thought it was well done. There's one thing people have to remember is that's just the presentation part, not the whole Q&A part. So there may be stuff missing, that you have questions or whatever, but it's really just the presentation part where we're looking for kind of an idea or being able to show people what good looks like. Anything else, Brian?
I think that covers it.
I saw a question in Slack. If you don't mind, I'll
Oh, sure.
let me just I can read it out to you real quick. So our team advanced to sectionals. It's the first time for us, so trying to understand what is the expectation from judges regarding process on innovation project and robot design. Do we need to explain in our presentation about what changes we made after regionals? And do we get the same 5 minutes to present innovative project or innovation project / robot design, or does the time change?
You want to do that, Brian, or you want me to?
Sure, I can take that. So the format in the room, the judging room, is consistent no matter what tournament you're going to. So the flow is the same. The 2-minute introduction, the 5-minute presentation for innovation project, 5-minute questions answered by the judges. Then you transition to the 5-minute presentation of the robot. The judges then have 5 minutes, and then the last 8 minutes, is the feedback section. So that does not change. But if your team did advance, yes, that gives you good information. Again, if you look at the rubric, it states out there, reaching out to your professionals and then iteration, yes, call that out and talk about, what information that you've got from your experts and how you've iterated in that time is a good process. And that includes both your project and your robot.
Yep. And I mean, the things just get more competitive as it goes on too. People do more research, they do more iterations, and improving their robots. So it's things are ratcheted up for the team.
Ratcheted up. Brian, I would say what you've always said: practice. Even though they've done it, continue to practice, because you're adding stuff. Also, keep in mind you can add more stuff, but your time doesn't change. So that's more information they got to try and convey. So balance that out.
Yep, we've had some teams lose the message because they try to cram too much in.
Okay, I also point out that going back to the newsletter, I did want to congratulate the teams. Thank you for the tournaments that were held at Franklin High School and also West Salem Middle School this past weekend. There's a whole list of awards and nominees, people that are going through to the next round. If you guys want to check that out, you can go to the newsletter. It's in that. And also, if you want to see the scoreboards, Allison posted in the Slack channel how to get into that. So you guys can check out the scores for the rounds. You can check out advancements and teams that advance. I would read them out to you, but I don't have my glasses on, and that wouldn't be good. So, there you go. Allison is sharing.
Yeah, I got it.
How to get to the leaderboard there.
I posted the link to all the tournaments in the chat.
And so these, just so you guys know, so as we go through the season here, we'll try to remember to post a link to the daily or the events that we're at. But you can get to these events. Brian, is that the main one? Yeah, it is. Okay, so Brian just put a link in the chat that you can hit that link and it'll take you to all of the different regionals and sectionals as they happen, and you can just hit this leaderboard and see the live scores. So thank you guys for that. And with us today, we have Laura from Whitewater, the tournament director. Welcome, Laura. You're on mute.
There we go.
So
hello. How are you guys tonight?
Well, we're going to give you the floor so you can kind of give us any information you'd like for us to know about your event, any odds and ends, where you're located at, anything you want to tell us.
All right, sounds great. Mark Zimmerman is also here with us tonight. He's just hiding around the corner of the camera. So he is my co-tournament director. So we are at Whitewater High School on Saturday. You will enter through door 4, which is our gymnasium entrance. If you were at this tournament last year, that's the same location you came in last year. There's a lot of parking right outside that door, but you can park anywhere at the school as long as you aren't in the aquatic center parking lot. We did move some of the judging rooms around in order to make room for additional practice space. So we're going to run 3 practice rooms. So you will get a scheduled slot if you choose to use it that is 20 minutes prior to your judging time, so that you can get the kids warmed up a little bit. We are going to have a quiet room. We do require that if you have a student who's going to use the quiet room, that they come with an adult, so a team adult, a parent, We will have another adult in the room, so that will make for 2 adults in the room. We did put some archaeological coloring books in there and things like that, so they can chill out a little bit and get a break from the noise. We just don't want it to become a hangout. And we are going to say no tech, so no phones, no video games, none of that while they're in there. Concession stand, I sent out the menu to the coaches. Main menu items, Rocky's Pizza Slices, hot dogs and Uncrustables, along with a lot of other side things and beverages. Some of our high school kids have put together a scavenger hunt for the day so that our FLL visitors can have some extra things to do. And then our high school team will also be doing robot demos and letting students have chances to drive the robot. So,
Awesome. So,
Do I have-
Laura, for your concession stands, is that run by your high school kids, or is it benefiting a program there, or?
yep, so we have a robotics booster club that benefits our teams in grades 4 through 12. So those parents are running that concession stand, and then they will pass those funds along to our FLL, FTC, and FRC teams.
Awesome. So we
Yeah.
do ask that teams attending that event, if you would please visit the concessions there and try not to order food out if you can help it. It does help the robot program, and we appreciate it. Are there any questions? Oh, I'm sorry, Laura, did I cut you off? I thought you were done.
Nope.
Okay.
You're
Any
good.
any questions for Laura? Or is it Mark as well, you said? Laura and Mark?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions for Laura and Mark for their tournament this weekend?
So schedule, I'm hoping we can get it out to you tomorrow. We did have one team drop, so that made some adjustments to the schedule. So we are working on getting that ready to go.
Awesome. Laura and Mark, you guys are welcome to hang with us as we go through the robot game questions and anything that we need to share from the weekend. We appreciate you guys being here with us, and I will get this. I'll get this video posted tonight, so teams that are going to your tournament will be able to see it. I'm not going to make them wait until Thursday or Friday to see it. So,
Awesome. Thanks, Jay.
yep. All right, and with that, we will go to Allison.
Oh, we're going to meet.
Into robot, can I ask a quick judging room question?
Absolutely.
Sorry. So I've had it. I work with fifth graders, and we're always a brand new team every year, and we've always kind of been encouraged to create some sort of a skit and so like the kids this year, they are doing a news show or a news report, and we've gotten some feedback from judges that they love that format, and we've gotten other feedback from judges saying that they wish it was just a presentation and straightforward giving us the information. Is that judge specific, or is there like expectations one way or the other on what we should be trying to do?
There's no expectation on how they should be presenting or what they should be presenting. With things that as judges we should be looking for is everybody involved, and the information that is in there to compare to the rubric and figure out how to rank the team, and any follow-up questions that we would want to ask to help us make sure we can appropriately rank them on the rubrics.
Okay, so
But there's
having like a little skit
if
is not a
no, if you do it this way or that way, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
There's no expectation there. We do expect things like the kids bring all the stuff in to the room and set it up. That it's not like the parents are bringing in the 70-inch TV and setting it up kind of thing. And you laugh, but it's happened. But so the kids, whatever kinds of things you're using, the kids should be bringing it in and setting it up and getting going. So, and that's kind of all happening in that first 2 minutes. They'll also be asked some questions from the judges in parallel. That's usually the tough questions like what's your team name and how many kids are in the team and the equally tough thing is how many years they've been on the team, those kinds of questions. Is they're just starting to learn a little bit about the team, and the judges will introduce themselves as well during that time. So those are the kinds of things going on there. But again, key thing is the kids bring it in, and the expectation is the entourage, the parents, family members, will be in the room already, and we ask them to, to not interrupt or ask questions or any of those things, because the judges' expectation is they're working directly with the kids.
I'm sure Brian will correct me if I'm wrong here, but if you're bringing any tech into the judging rooms, there's no guarantee that you will have internet access or even a place to plug in. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So
Yep.
plan for the unexpected. I've seen teams before actually have the little Jackery boxes, the little battery packs with them. Um, so I know they try to
So,
have a table in the room, but
Yeah, I
so
mean, if you're going to deal with tech, the recommendation is plan for what they're going to do if it goes wrong,
yep.
because it's not uncommon for them to have tech issues.
Yeah, I think Brian mentioned last week as well, even with things simple like a laptop, right? So if you're going to bring a laptop or something into the room, you have to have a contingency plan should that laptop fail. Kids bringing it into the room drops a laptop, right? So it can't be your whole program there. So make sure you have a contingency plan for things like that.
So the only thing I'll add about as far as the judging room, remember, this is about the kids. So if they want to do a presentation, that's great. If they don't want to do one, that's fine also. The judges, our job is to try and, listen to them, what they did that year. And then our job is to try and pull as much information out of them as we can to make sure that we can check that box off.
But we kind of do expect some form of a innovation presentation, but there's no form.
Correct. But it doesn't have to be a skit or
Right.
things like that.
Right.
And even for the robot, I know some people are like, well, what do you mean a skit for the robot? Or it's not so much necessarily a skit, but a presentation of their robot. And you can look at the rubric of, step by step, what you can go through and talk about.
The rubrics, the topics the judges want to know about.
Mm-hmm.
And I did realize that we went straight to Laura a little while ago, and I did not ask for judge questions. So if there are any judge questions, feel free to ask, guys.
I think Craig's getting his job back when he's back online. Jay, I don't know.
And I think Jay's doing it perfect that he doesn't have to do it.
That's right. All right. So with that, now we will go to Allison. Allison, tell us about your exciting weekend that you had in Franklin. Anything you saw? Anything you want to share? I did note that there is one thing in Slack about just red and blue sides tagging it.
It also came up at Franklin, so it works out really well for that.
Awesome.
So yeah, first tournament of the year, very exciting. We had a lot of good questions come up. I will have to probably remember to bring safety glasses though in the future, because I did almost get a gear to the face from a silo. They do whip out of them. It is very impressive to see. So as far as observations from Franklin, so first we'll address what came up on Slack because it came up at Franklin as well. We had a team who some of the students weren't able to attend the tournament, and it just so happened that it was all of their red side technician students were the ones unable to attend, and they only had students who had practiced on blue. So generally speaking, if you have a team of 4 or more students, you will have to have two student technicians in each launch area at all times during a match. If you have more than 4 students, then what you can do is you can split those students up, red area, blue area, just the one big step behind the table, and they can swap in freely as much as they want throughout the match, so long as we have 2 students per launch area at a time during the match. So if you have some students who programmed one mission launching out of red, but then you want to switch to another set of students who've done the next mission, that's totally fine. If you have less than that, they still have to divide up between the homes. So your students will always be on both launch areas of the board. So just keep that in mind as you are practicing at home and getting ready for your tournaments. One of the other things that came up. So these models seem to be held together with popsicle sticks and dreams this year a little bit, but we have been very vigilant about coaching our referees and our field resetters on keeping an eye on our troublemaker models this year, making sure the silo is getting hugs and positive affirmations, making sure that the brush is swinging freely in surface brushing. We did not have any model failures due to that at Franklin, so I was very happy to see that. We're going to see if that sticks around all season, but it is something that we are aware of. One thing that your team can do to help us out with that is when your teams come up to the board after they have finished inspection, your students can ask their table referee to check over any models they would like checked over. So if they want to make sure that something is behaving properly, I would much rather we do that before a match starts than after and try and figure out, did the robot do it? Was it the last team? A lot easier if we get that all sorted ahead. My last thing that I had listed from Franklin is the gracious professionalism being evaluated at the robot game boards. So in every single round at the robot competition boards, your team is being given a score that does contribute to your core values. What do we call it? And what's it called in the judging room? Champions rank? What's the term I'm looking for?
Well, it goes into core values rank, which feeds into champions rank.
Thank you. So please be aware that your team is being assessed for your gracious professionalism when you're at the board. And that does not just mean the students, that means the coaches and the parents associated with the teams as well. One thing I was not super happy to see about Franklin was we had students using inappropriate language between them set their own team, but we also had coaches and parents using inappropriate language at their students at the board as well. So just as a general reminder, please, 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 please make sure that you are all reminding each other that at the end of the day, we are here to have a good, fun time with cool, awesome robots. And please make sure that you bring your gracious professionalism to the boards and to the entire tournament as a whole. I think that's all my recap I had from Franklin.
All right. Thank you for that. I thought you were going to make the same comment I did because I also thought that we were going to have to start wearing glasses to the board. I did witness firsthand the silo exploding, and it was absolutely amazing. It literally liquefied in the head referee's hands when he was putting it on the board. I've never seen a model go from being complete to 100 pieces instantly. So that was pretty cool to watch. So that being said, I did want to share one thing with you guys. So there was the update last week about the decorative pieces on the board. And I did get some serious questions about, what is decorative? Is the silo decorative? Stuff like that. So I did make kind of a drawing as a joke, but it is kind of a serious thing at the moment. So these little pieces here, the little pieces that are decorations on a model, that is decorative. The model is not decorative. This wing for the silo is not decorative. I've been asked that 6 times and seriously asked that. Since it doesn't function, is it decorative? It is not. Okay? We do absolutely understand that the models are fragile. We get it. Part of the game is the models are fragile. They haven't changed it. They know they're fragile. If you guys are regularly, whacking the silo model with some kind of weighted hammer and it's breaking this arm, I highly suggest you guys change the way you approach that because there are teams that are doing it and it's working fine. So we are checking the models, as Allison said, we did as well. And they held up a lot better than what I thought they were going to. But if you're violent with them, they will certainly break. And I understand that sometimes they'll break even if you're not violent. But we'll do our best to reset the models and, as Allison said, give them a little hug because it does seem to help. Okay.
Quick question on the decorative part on
Yep.
mission 11 specifically. There is the ground layer on the outside rim that if you bump it or breathe on it, it falls off. Is that decorative or is that like we tried to code not to hit that, but once the gyro gets knocked off, unfortunately, sometimes it happens.
Let me pull my book because I actually don't know what piece you're
I
talking
saw
about.
it happen at Franklin, actually. So I
Okay.
do know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's a
Feel
1 in
free.
10 for us, but it's a question.
Feel free to address that, Allison, if you know what he's talking
Yep.
about. I got to look at the model.
So generally, we're not going to give a overall blanket statement of this is always okay or this is not always okay. But generally speaking, the team in question that I saw do it at Franklin, because it is held on with those like surface pegs, it is on there extremely loosely. And they hit it non-consequentially, not even going for that mission, and it busted off. That is not a points problem, generally speaking.
Awesome.
I am not going to say it definitively because I am a head referee. But generally speaking, as long as something is breaking that is not making it easier possible to score, and especially given the update, we're being pretty lenient on decorative type elements like that. So
Yeah.
generally, I'd say it's fine.
Yeah, as Allison said, that has kind of been our standard, even through the last couple years. So the decorative rule update that they made kind of plays into exactly how we define it. So if it doesn't make it easier or possible to score, then fine.
Good.
We'll also note that the little wing on the silo, I don't know what else to call it, but the wing on the silo, if you guys are planning on doing the heavy lifting mission, picking up the millstone, and you're going up the right-hand side and you're clipping that wing and knocking it off and grabbing the heavy lifting. So do note that when we're saying breaking a mission model to make scoring easier, if you're breaking the silo mission to make heavy lifting easier, you will not get points for heavy lifting. You can't break a different model either to make scoring easier or possible. So, right,
I also had a question of clarification of the comments earlier of how many kids should be at the table as a team of 10, theoretically. You have to have 4 kids at the table.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is outlined in the rules. I'm
Yep.
forgetting exactly what page it's on, but it is in the rule book.
Page 15.
Yep. Thank you. Assuming you have a team of 4 or more students, there always must be 4 students at the board at any given time.
Awesome. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Even if they don't do anything, they have to, by the rule, be there.
Yep.
And so
That's all I got.
Yep. So just to, we did have the Slack question. So just to clean that up a little bit. So there is no limit to how many times the kids can tag in and out. You're not going to confuse the referees. That was part of the concern with the person posting on Slack. We'll be able to track who's where. There's a head ref at the end of the table as well. So what happens is if one of the kids steps up and the other one doesn't step back, we'll just nice and calmly remind them, hey, 2 at the table at a time. It's not the end of the world. We're not going to kick you off if there happens to be 3 kids there for a minute or for a second. But we'll just remind them to step back. So no need to tag in and out. Just simply step up. If you're red side kid, step up to the red side. The other kid steps back. So no big deal. Right. Questions, comments, concerns? Nothing.
I think we're good.
Okay. With that, guys, if you guys need to contact us, you can reply back to the newsletter, assuming you're getting the newsletter. I just heard that someone is not getting the newsletter. So if you're not getting the newsletter and you're on this call, drop us, however you knew to come here, Slack or whatever, just drop us a line there, make sure we get you on the newsletter. So if there's a change in links or something like that, you will know. But you can reply in general, if you're trying to get a hold of us, reply back to the newsletter. That will go to Craig in the newsletter as well. There's also all of our emails. You can take a look on the Slack channel. There's a referee channel there. There's the judges channel there. Do remember that we work. We have day jobs. Sorry, a question came in. Do you send the link of this recording to the email? Okay, so the link to this recording will be in next week's newsletter, but I will post this recording tonight, so people going to tournament this weekend will be able to see it rather quickly, and that will be also be posted on Slack. Are you
There is
part
a
of-
link in the newsletter of join the weekly Zoom call and then watch previously recorded calls.
Good point.
So you can get to it that way as well.
Yep. So after we're done here, give me half hour, 45 minutes, we'll have this up. Okay, so on the Slack channel, we will answer your questions as quickly as we can. If you're a newer judge or newer team, do check out some of the conversations on the general channels and take a look in some of the rooms, because there's a lot of experienced teams on there and coaches that offer a lot of help. So can I stay and ask? Yes, you can, Jenny. Okay. We will let you guys go. Okay. I've never used Slack. Where do I find that?
It's
We'll grab you a link.
so it's in the emails as well. Huh? Should be a sign up for the Slack.
Are you getting the newsletter, Matt? Yes. Okay. If you look in the newsletter, you'll see the join Slack.
You have to request an email by emailing back to fllteams@badgerbus.org to receive an invite. If I'm assuming the link sent out at the beginning of the year expired.
It could be. Matt, if you want to send me a direct message with that in the Zoom here, I can send you an invite. This is Brian Farrell. I'll reach out to you.
I will put, I'll make sure we get a new link on the YouTube page as well. And hopefully one that won't time out, and we'll remind Craig to put a new one in the newsletter. So, okay. We'll try it again. Okay. You can get a hold of us on Slack, reply back to the newsletter. You guys have a great weekend. For those of you going to tournament, good luck. And we will see you all soon. Bye.